Because intelligence is intelligence.
Yes.
It does not matter what you go to school for or what book you read or anything. The point of and no matter what they say about intelligence to make people feel good, intelligence is simply the ability to...
Hey, Myers.
Hello. The ability to... Yes, Usman? Intelligence is simply the ability to take new stimuli and do something with it. If you are intelligent, no matter what comes your way, you figure out what to do with it. That's intelligence. Carry on. Carry on. About your business.
I'm winning psychology college.
Okay. All right.
That's why I came here.
Okay.
Do you really want me to leave?
Well, let's do some classic conditioning here. Are you receiving any kind of reward for the behavior which you are exhibiting right now?
Yes.
What is that reward?
I'm bringing amusement to that.
No, you are getting attention from all of them. That is what you are seeking. Now, if we all ignore you, me included, eventually, according to psychologists, you will leave.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Trust me, I would.
But you will.
No.
Yes.
If you want me to stay,
You
I
will.
have to literally sit down at that table.
I know you could sit down on that table.
I'm not going to sit there. They probably kick me out.
The first one is, of course, a rectangular prism, yes? But it is a special rectangular prism in that what? Lauren? It's a cube, which means that all 6 sides are the same. So could you write those numbers, L, W, H, in the formula? Yes, but of course that would be stupid. Because you do not need the formula. You use your intelligence to sort out the fact that this is 5 squared, and that there are 6 of them. So this is 150 meters squared. Now, B was a problem. I like the way Kayla and other people in the class were thinking. Kayla said, hey, that's a rectangular prism cut in half. So I'm going to find the surface area and divide it by 2. Of course, that does not work. Why? Why? Because when you cut it in half, you add a new surface, which means you must add more surface area. Yes? So, there's a couple of ways you can go about doing this. I am betting that a great many of you made an assumption with this question. And the assumption that you made was that. Are you allowed to make that assumption?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh man, no. Because you don't have that side and like.
You don't have that side, but did I anywhere illustrate that as 90 degrees?
No.
We'll get to that in a moment. How many of you made the assumption that that was 90 degrees? All of you put your hands up because you all did, right? I wanted you to make that assumption that it was 90 degrees. That was why I put the question there. So you would indeed make that assumption. Are you technically allowed to make that assumption?
Yes.
No.
No.
Under no circumstances can you make that assumption. Because you have no data to prove that. Right? That question cannot be done. Because you do not know, indeed, if that is a 90-degree angle. However, if you assume it's a 90-degree angle, then you find this side to be what? Lauren? 10. And then it becomes super easy, yes? It's 3 rectangles and 2 triangles, yeah? Now the 2 triangles, of course, are BH divided by 2, but since there are 2 of them, we cancel them. So the triangles are base times height. What's wrong with calling them base and height? There is no base and height. When I turn that triangle around, the base and height will change, yes?
Yeah.
So you have to be careful of that. Why do we call them base and height?
Just for
Convenience, right? So then, and then it was plus how many rectangles?
there's
3. So it's LW plus LW plus LW. Are all those L's, which are going to appear on the screen in a moment?
Not yet.
I think Peter don't like you.
Are they the same L's?
No.
Are they the same W's? So why did I write LW, LW, LW? For convenience. Now, if I had written XY, 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 would they all be the same X's? Yes, they would. Okay? I would have to use different letters if I was using XY, 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 and I was doing algebra. Okay? All right. So, there is what you would be doing, and you would fill it in, and you would add up those 3 numbers. Now, that works just fine. But again, it is cumbersome. Right? I'm going to go back to Kayla, and I'm going to redeem her by saying she is absolutely right in her thinking, but she was poor in her execution. Kayla said that will all erase, and I will fix it in a moment. Kayla said that is indeed half of a rectangular prism, yes? Yeah. So if Kayla were to find the surface area of the entire rectangular prism and then add just this part after dividing by 2, would she get the same answer? Of course she would. Because what is there right now is half of a rectangular prism. But when we cut it in half, we added that rectangle. So if she did 2 WH plus HL plus LW, but you wouldn't do it times 2, would you? Why? Because it's only half, isn't it? So you would cancel them. If she did that, she would have the surface area of all this, except she would need to add that LW. And she would get the right answer. 216 centimeters squared. Why is it squared? Lauren.
Because the area is in squares and it's two-dimensional.
2 dimensions. That's what I'm looking for. All right.
You got a smart girl.
Third one. C. Simple rectangular prism, yeah? Where's L? Where's W? And where's H? Doesn't matter. Right? If you follow the picture on your sheet, this is H, this is L, this is W. But doesn't matter. Why?
Because if you change the position of the rectangle.
That's one problem. I can rotate the rectangle and LWH will be in different positions. Why doesn't it matter mathematically? Byron. Yeah, 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5. Okay? So, of course, you could fill out that formula, which is what I imagine most of you did. Some of you probably still did the thing where you did that rectangle and then the other 2 rectangles, added them up and multiplied by 2. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there isn't. It's just more cumbersome. Yes? And you are always allowed to be cumbersome. I do not care. Now we get to the first one where there's really some options for you. Depending on with whom you studied the 9th grade, you have a couple of different methods of attacking letter D. Would anybody like to describe what they did? Lauren.
I got the surface area of both of them and then subtracted the surface area of the cube from the rectangle and from the cube, like where they meet.
So Lauren did polygon 1, polygon 2, minus 2 overlaps. Yes? Yeah. Excellent. Is there anything wrong with that? No, it will get you the right answer. But again, it is cumbersome. Yes? Because it requires you to do things twice. Does anybody have another way with which they could have approached this problem? Or did everybody indeed do 2 overlaps? Rosemary, what did you do? Guys, I swore. I listen to you people in the hall. Every second word out of your mouth is F or S. It is no big deal. I swore. You can even swear everything but the F word is even allowed on TV now. What the hell difference does it make?
Is that even a bad word? Like, it's considered a rude word.
If you choose to believe that it exists.
Is Aboriginal a rude word now?
It is if you call a First Nations person from the United States that. The Aboriginals,
Mad at me when I say Aboriginal.
the Aboriginal folk in the United States are quite angry if you call them anything but Indians.
But I thought that was the girl.
No, in Canada it is. In America, they like to be called Indians. Native Americans go with Indian.
I thought it was indigenous.
Indigenous is a word that is used, but that would imply that that civilization of people were always here. That's what indigenous means. They were not always here. They walked here. So they were not indeed indigenous people until the archaeological record changes. Recently, the archaeological record has been proven to be wrong in its timeline, not wrong in its facts. There have been people living in North America significantly longer than previous archaeological evidence has suggested. But that does not mean that they were here in the first place. DNA evidence has long since proven that all humans started in the middle of Africa and spread out from there, which is why if you go to the middle of Africa and look at the faces of the people that still live there, you will see people that look like tanned Asian people. You will see people that look like tanned white people. You will see people that look like tanned Australian black people who look significantly different than African black people. You will see people that look like the Mongolian and people of the Siberian steppes. They are all faces available to you if you wander about the central area of Africa, where indeed all humans started, which is, of course, even more argument that all those clowns in the States that are worried about racism and worried about, oh my God, black people are idiots. Because if they go back far enough, guess what? And you don't even have to go back too far. 7% of every single male in the world has Genghis Khan's DNA in them. So 7 out of every 100 men are related back to Genghis Khan because he had that many babies as he raped and pillaged his way across Europe and Asia. There are 30, well, I lie. Let's say there are 15 people in this class. That is approximately a sixth of 100. So one person in this room and one person in this room, statistically and genetically speaking, is related to Genghis Khan.
Whoa.
But nobody wants to think about that because they are unintelligent in their desire to be bothered by other races and ethnicities. What? Yes, that's the stupidest website in the world. Do not give your DNA to anyone because it does not matter where you are from. Stop looking backwards. Stop looking backwards. Look forward. The fact that your great-great-great-grandmother was German, but you've been raised your entire life Polish, and now you want to run out and get lederhosen? That's stupid. Be you. I do not know who my father is. I have no idea who he is.
Really?
None whatsoever. Does it affect me in any way? Not even the slightest bit. You know why? Because that happened 42 years, 9 months ago. I don't have the car that can go 88 miles an hour and go back in time and change things. I can only look forward. Right? Now, back to this. Now that we have had our civics discussion, those ads actually really bother me. The guy that's like, I've been Scottish my whole life, now suddenly I'm Polish. No, you're not. You're John. You were John yesterday, you're John today. If you are wrapping up your identity in what your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather is, you got some problems.
It's like, there's this one
Yes.
There's this one BuzzFeed video that really bothered me. They took a group of like diverse people and did the whole ancestry chart.
Yes.
Right? And there was this one African American woman, and she's like, if I'm even like 1 That video.
Yes, but that's okay because minorities are allowed to be racist. That's okay. Everybody but white people can be racist. It's okay. Now, back to business. The way I do this question is this.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere green is what?
The rectangle.
A rectangular prism, which is 2 LW or WH plus HL, right? It'll come back, don't worry.
Excuse me.
All the green is that. Then I add that rectangle times what?
2.
2. And the front rectangle times what?
2.
Times 2. Now in this case, they all happen to be the same, yes? So I could have just done times 4. But if they weren't, it would be times 2, and then this blue guy times 2. So it is significantly more elegant.
Yeah.
Is it more right?
No.
No. Do I care what you do?
No.
No. But as you go further and further in math, if you can make your answers simpler, that will help you out because the problems which you will face in the 11th in the 11th and 12th grades and on into university are significantly more complex than they are now. So if you can find anything to make this part of it easier, that will behoove you in the future. Okay? Okay. Should we take a break now? People much past this? You're not much past this? Okay, I'm going to take a break from recording because, Oh, I suppose you want an answer there, yes?
Yeah.
This guy was 192, and this guy was 288?
What? Oh yeah.
You'll notice I'm not actually doing the work with you guys, right? Like, I expect you to be able to figure out where you went wrong once I explained it, right? If you don't have the 288. That's your job. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to stop recording because we did waste a bit of time, but it's not. Okay. Now, this guy allows you once again to do the overlap thing, yes? Because, of course, this rectangle right here, which is between the two, you would subtract twice, yes? If you do things that way. You, of course, also have the option to do things the way I do them, right? Which would be this guy would be 2 WL. No, sorry. 2 LH if you follow the picture, because that's L, that's H. Yeah. Plus 2. No, not 2, sorry. LWs, but then you would only add 1 WH, right? Because this doesn't exist there, yeah? And then on this side, you'd have the LW here, the LW on the front, which, how do you find that? Pythagoras, which is what you always find to use to find slants, and you know that it is indeed 5. So you would add that LW. Right? And you would get an answer of, if I'm not mistaken, something like 224. Isn't that one? I don't remember. Pardon?
156?
No, it is more than 156. I think it's 192, actually, now that I think about it. What? Well, let's find out. Again, or there's, of course, the third way where you just count every single rectangle and add it up. Right? Including this one, which of course is base times height divided by 2, but there's 2 of them, so it's just base times height.
Yeah.
Right? So it would be that plus that LW plus that LW plus the BH on the triangle. So that's 2. LH is 8 by 3, so that's 24, plus LW, which is 8 by 3, that's 24, plus WH, that's 9. Plus 9, plus this LW, which is 12, plus the back LW, which is 15, plus the top and bottom, which is 4 by 3, which is 12. So that's 48 times 2 is 96, plus 9 is 105, plus 12 is 117, plus 12 is 129, plus 15 is 144. That's what you would get. And again, I remind you, what is the complicated thing here? Is it the arithmetic or is it the attention to detail? It is the attention to detail. F is particularly snaky. Snaky. If F snuck up on you and bit you on the ankle, your buddy would have to suck the poison out. Is how snaky F is. That doesn't work, by the way. Do not do that. If your friend gets bitten by a snake and you suck the poison out of the bite, you now have 2 poisoned people. Don't do it. Okay? What?
My uncle got bit by a snake once, and then like his dad, and then something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then it worked.
Well, okay.
But
I know lots of people that jump out of planes, too. Some of them still die.
some of your friends have died from jumping out of planes?
No.
I want to go skydiving.
I do, too.
Me too.
That would be so
But I do not want to waste my time with no static line jump. I'm just going to strap myself to a dude so I can free fall.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to waste my time. It's not about parachuting. Parachuting is standing.
Yeah.
You're standing still. Great. Oh, this is wicked awesome.
No,
The point of skydiving is free fall.
and then they, like,
Yeah, then they do all the work. All you got to do is lie. It's just like, "Hey, it's going to be awesome.
I want to do it.
I can't wait. All right. So, what are we going to do with F? Because you're welcome to do that, that, and that, and that, all times 2 each, yes? The bottom one you can only do once, yeah? Okay. So, 3 of those are rectangles. They're easy. What is the green area? It's a triangle, which means it's base times height divided by 2, yeah? And how many of them are there, sir? 2. So as long as I know the base times height, I'm in business, yes? So here is what I have. What do those 2 little lines mean?
Means they're the same.
Means they're the same. Excellent. So what's the base and the height? What's the base, the way the triangle is sitting right now? 8. Excellent. What's the height? You don't know. Right? Can I turn it sideways?
Yeah.
8, 5, 5. Is that the same triangle as this, but turned sideways? Excellent. Can I do that as base times height? Which is it? Don't ask me a question. I asked you. I'll change my tone of voice so it's easier for you to hear. Can I do that as base times height? Now you need to answer with a statement. No or yes, not no or yes. Can I do this as 5 times 5 divided by 2? Yes or no? No, of course I can, Josiah. Why? Because that's not a 90-degree angle. Is it? So this way is Poopy McPoopleton. So I got to deal with this guy, don't I? How?
You can cut it.
I cut it in half. How long is this? 5. How long is this? 4. Now have I made a 90-degree angle?
Yeah.
5, 4, what does that have to be without even doing math? Because you already have this one memorized. When the hypotenuse is 5 and the leg is 4, that is 3. Right, it's 3. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle.
Who said that?
I don't know. Some very, very intelligent 10th grade student.
Intelligent.
So now, do I have a height? Do I have a base? So it is 8 by 3 divided by 2. But since there's 2 of them, we cancel the 2. So 8 by 3 gets me 24 there, and then I add it up. Everybody cool? And I think that's 288. But it's been a while. I can add it up if you need me to.
I didn't get 288, so I could add it up.
Oh, maybe it's 440. I can't remember. I did this before lunch. What'd you get?
I don't think it's right.
Okay, don't say it then. Well, let's work it out. You guys can use your calculators. I'll use my head. 30 times 2, 75 times 2, 16 times 2, and we said that was 3 by 24. So that's 150 plus 60 plus 32 plus 24 plus on the bottom 15 times 8 is 80 and 40 is 120 to get 6. 11 and 5 is 16 and 2 is 18. 386?
Oh, I was right. I'm so proud of myself.
See, you should doubt yourself, Sarah.
Yeah, but I got the last one wrong, so my confidence dropped.
That's 120. If it was 170, Lauren, I would have given the little German cross on it. And no, I'm not being racist or anything like that. It's from Germany.
Why is it
Because German writing is where it started.
Wait, what about the line with the Z? Some people like the Z.
I guess I would assume that's also from Germany, but I don't know. All right. Have people done G as in Goofy,
Yeah.
who, by the way, is a dog? People argue, what is Goofy? I don't know what animal he is. He's a dog. Obviously, he's a dog. But then somebody says, well, then why does he get to talk and Pluto's just a dog? It's a cartoon. Mice can't drive steamboats either.
No, in the Mickey Mouse cartoon, back to Steamboat.
In the very first Mickey Mouse cartoon, Steamboat Willie,
The one in the,
you know at the beginning of Disney movies, you see black and white Mickey driving a steamboat?
I love that song.
Amshman, I am determined by the time you leave here, you're going to be completely caught up on every cultural reference, as well as being brilliant. Never mind. All right. For a great many of you, for G, if we keep going the way we're going, you're going to have cut it in half and done 2 surface areas and subtracted 2 overlaps. By now, you should have figured out there are better, more elegant ways to do these things, yes? Please watch. What happens if I do this?
How come holes?
What do I have now?
You have a whole rectangle.
I have a whole rectangle, which would be 2 WL, LH, HW, right?
Yes.
Okay. But that's not what I really have, do I? Because what I have is I have this roof, yes? Unless I do this. Oh, wait. I still have that roof, don't I? And on this side, I had this whole wall, didn't I? Except I don't, because I cut it out. Oh, wait, I do, because there it is. So what is really missing here? Only that and that, yes?
Yeah.
How big is that blue rectangle I just filled in? 11 by 2, which is 22. And what's that one? 22. So if I did 2 LW, LH, HW, and then I took away 44, would I get the right answer? Is that tidier than that plus that again minus 2 overlaps? Is it more right? No. It's just a different way of looking at the problem. And that is all math is. When you approach a math problem that you do not understand, think about it. Would I, as your math teacher, ever give you something you could not do? No, that would be stupid, right? So whatever I give you, you are capable of doing. Just sometimes you have to look at it in a different way. Okay? Okay. So I don't remember what that answer is. I'm sure somebody has it. 444? Well, let's check. What time is it? Oh, we got time. 2 LW. 22 by 6. Plus LH. 22 by 4. Plus HW. 4 by 6. Minus 44. So that's 122 times 6 is 132. Yeah? 132. Calm down there, Sam. 22 times 4 is 88. 4 times 6 is 24. Minus 44. 132 and 88 is 90 and 130, which is 220 plus 24. It's 244 times 2 is 488 minus 44, 444. Lauren.
What is the full length of the bottom of the rectangle?
Yes, 22 is the whole area because it was 11 by 2. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep getting 1 for 1, whatever. What did you do?
Is that was it for that page, yeah? Okay, cylinder. How in the past are you going to have written this answer? As a rounded off decimal to some degree of decimal places, yes? How are we going to answer it in grade 10 and onward? Something pi. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. 2 pi 3 squared plus 2 pi 3 8. I'm going to try and do this all without it even showing up on the screen. 3 squared is 9 times 2 is 18 pi plus 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 48 pi, which is 66 pi. Some of you cannot accept that as an answer. It makes you twitch and cringe like a bad noise, like that noise that people make when they fold paper with their fingernail. Just makes you want to punch them in the mouth. I don't know if you guys have that, but I hate that sound.
When they do that and
And
they
then
like
they-
do it with their nails. No.
But it feels good.
I don't care.
Feels good.
It feels good to you. It feels bad to my ears. Be empathetic. Walk a mile in my shoes. Anyway, no, you couldn't. Because if you guys walked a mile in Converse, it would hurt most of your feet. Because they're horrible shoes for you.
You have 2 comments.
No, I have like 12 pairs of Converse. I just choose to wear 2 at any given moment. 66 pi. Of course, if that bothers you, you of course will do 66 times pi on your calculator and get something like 192 blah, blah, blah. Who cares? What is it? 207?
3, 4, 5, 1.
Awesome. I couldn't be happier for you guys.
Mr. Ryan, can you hear it though?
That's because, yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's another noise I hate, nail clipping. The sound of toenails are worse, but the sound of clippers going through fingernail.
It sounds good.
It's gross.
It does.
I hate that sound.
Fingernails are matte plastic, you know, like they're really like matte plastic. You rub
It's like
fingernails.
ASMR.
And then, of course, the last question, which I will not be doing with you all because it is very open to interpretation. So I want you to try to interpret it. Interpret. Because it is open to interpretation. Aye? Aye. Now, if you look on the side of my sheet of paper, you see that we are finishing lesson 1.5 now, yes? Then we have lesson 1.6, yes?
Yeah.
After 1.6 is a quiz, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. These particular problems, as you are well aware, because they are so open to interpretation and require such an attention to detail, I like to stretch them out a little bit more than 1 day per lesson, yes?
Yeah.
So expect 2 days on 1.6, yes? Which means you could be expecting a quiz at any time after Tuesday. Okay?
Yeah.
Fair warning, I will not put it on the board yet because I do not want to write it in dry erase as opposed to writing it in stone. Get what I did there? I'm really just too lazy to walk up there and do it. And it covers me because this is recording. If I forget to write it up there and you come in on Wednesday and I give you a quiz, I can go, I didn't say that, did I? Click. And there it will be. Okay? 1 million questions. Go. Thank you, Rosemary. It was Austin Powers. Dr. Evil. $1 million. And then everybody laughs at him because in 1966, $1 million was a lot of money. Now, can't even buy a house in Vancouver for $1 million. Barely buy a house in Abbotsford for $1 million. Of course, we can go back to E for a second. Well, I did it in my head, so it's entirely possible. Let's check, shall we, Byron? And I'm even leaving it recording in case I did indeed make a mistake. That's how secure I am in either A, being right, or B, accepting the possibility that I made a mistake. Ah! Let's go. So let's do the longer way, because that's less chance of missing stuff. That blue one is 8 by 3, yes? And there's 2 of them. Right?
There's 4 of them in total.
Excellent point. I was going to do all of them, but okay. Since you agree that there's 4, I had 8 by 3 by 4. Yes? Okay, so that covers all the blue because the bottom's the same. Then I had the green, which was 3 by 3. Yes?
Yep.
Plus 3 by 3. Okay. Then I had the pink, which is 3 by 4, yeah?
Yep.
3 by 4. And then I had the other side, which was 3 by 5, yeah?
Yep.
So that's plus 3 by 5. And then I had the top and bottom, which is 4 by 3, right?
Isn't it,
Base times height.
oh, okay, I did 4 by 5.
Ah. So that was 4 by 3. And it should have been 4 by 3 divided by 2, but since there's 2 of them, we don't divide by 2.
Yeah.
So we get 96 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 12. And that looks like 24 and 96 is 120, plus 15 is 135, plus 9 is 144. Now, the question that must be asked by you as a student, Byron, is how will you be assessed for doing that?
Bare feet.
How do I assess you? It's tough, right? From my perspective, you did all the math right. You found the missing side. Your mistake in the 10th grade was simply that you did not recognize which was base and which was height, which is not part of grade 10. That was from grade 6. So how do I punish you? Right? It makes it very difficult to mark your guys' work. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to get sympathy from you. I'm just saying it's very difficult to mark. Right? So what would I do there if it was out of 3? I'd probably be 2.5. But I would circle it and I would say base Height? Really?
How much is a guy? Like,
And you would say, yeah, really? And I would say, look at it again. You would say, oh. Right? No. Sure. I think I have a copy of it here somewhere.
surface area of inside the room. Will he need
Oh. I don't have a copy. How about you don't worry about it? That was a horrible noise too. It's over now. We can get on with our lives.
I hate the laws when people even the faults.
What?
I hate the laws when people even the faults on the dishes.
Oh, forks on the dishes. Yes, yes. I know of what you speak. I don't like that noise either.